So I'm going to make a little high-heeled shoe with pointed toes using my tiny shoe cutters. I'm going to use the large shoe cutter, the large square, and the large circle, and the middle-sized circle. So to start off with, I'm going to roll a little bit of paste to make the heel. You roll it very thick, about the thickness of a pound coin. Let it dry a little bit on each side. I'm just going to cut out one shoe, even though it does come as a pair, just so that you can see how to actually make it. And this needs to be a little bit thicker, thinner than the heel. And again, just leave that to one side to dry slightly. It just works better if it's slightly leathery. Then for the top part of the shoe, I'm rolling it much thinner. And when I roll, I leave it with a little fat piece at the top and the bottom, so that I've got something to pick it up with. It needs to dry a little bit on that side before I can turn it over. And then it will actually release from the board. So cut out the sole, and if it stays up in the cutter you can rub around the edge. If it doesn't, you can just release it from the board. Then rest it over the packaging just for a few minutes, just to start getting the shape. If you haven't got the packaging, you can use the edge of a board. Then for the heel, I'm going to use the middle size circle. So you can see how fat it is there. Then the large size circle halfway across the paste, and then the small middle size circle there, just to cut a little piece off at an angle there. Then pick it up and just wiggle it slightly to get rid of the cut edges. I then need to cut out a square and I also want a circle for the back of the heel. At this stage I'm going to colour these pieces with gold powder so that the colour goes on nice and smoothly and it will absorb into the surface of the paste. So I'm just using a little blusher brush just on a tissue, do the same on the heel. Turn the heel over. You don't need to turn the other pieces over because they won't be seen. And just get a nice soft gold effect on those, which will then stay on the paste without rubbing off. So I'm going to stick the heel onto the shoe, a little bit of water under the heel, stick the heel underneath, sideways on, turn the heel, the whole shoe on its side, and just cut across to make sure that it's straight. Then you can stand it up, put your finger on the front of the shoe and stand it up nice and straight. Then the square part, you need to cut across on the diagonal from corner to corner. If you do it on a slight curve, you get a slightly more delicate effect on the shoe. You can then turn it over, dampen the straight edges, turn the shoe round, and then stick the paste to the side of the sole. Then you can cut any little edge bits off. That will give you your nice pointed shoe. Now for the back of the shoe, if you want a closed in heel, you can use the large circle cutter to cut a moon shape from that piece that I cut out earlier on. Then turn it over and use a ball tool to cup the inside by dragging it across, and that will give you a curved part for the back of the shoe. Dampen the inside edge and wrap that around the back of the shoe and just press it into position, and that will give you a nice closed in court shoe. To put a little bit of extra decoration on it, you can use all sorts of little things. I have on here a tiny bow in my multi-mould. I'm going to use a little bit of the paste that I've already got the gold on to pop into the mould there. Press it right in with a Dresden tool. Make sure that it's just slightly lower than the height of the mould, and then turn it over and pop it out. Then you can dampen the inside and stick it on the back of the shoe or on the front, wherever you like really. And just to finish that off, I'm going to paint that with gold powder food colouring mixed with a little bit of alcohol. I've got alcohol mixed into this brush so that it's ready to use for the colour. And that gives you a very pretty little bow on the back of your shoe.